So we're still in collections and we're still looking at lists, and the next method on our list is the insert method. So let's take a look at this. Let's first of all go and create a list of strings and also print them out after we've done it. So let's just do something like this, copy and paste. We'll make our list a little bit shorter because it's easier to deal with for the purpose of example. So we have a list: Alice, Bob and Charlie. And the first thing we want to do is use this insert method. So let's have a look at how it works. We type in names and then dot and then insert over here on our next thing down. And what we see is that the insert object inserts, it inserts an object before index. So that's what the insert method does. So what does this actually mean? We've got an index is our first argument and our second argument is the actual object type. So let's have an attempt and just see what this looks like. Insert, open brackets, and the supporting index. Now, if we want to insert something at the beginning, it might be somewhere before index number 0. So let's put in 0 and then let's try and put in a name that begins or that it would alphabetically come before Alice. So for example, let's try Adam. And now let's just print names. See what names looks like, and names looks like this: Adam, Alice, Bob and Charlie, and Adam has gone in front of index number 0, so it is the new index number 0. So what we can say is that the insert method operates on the list, and also we have just inserted, so insert at the beginning. So let's just see if we can do another insert, and actually we will actually just print out our names like this because it's a bit more convenient and nicer to look at for the output. So we have names and then we have names again just below it. Now let's just try and see if we can insert at the end. So if we do names dot insert, and then our list is 1, 2, 3, 4 items, which is index 0. So we got the new index now: 0, 1, 2 and 3. So ideally we might want to put something at index number 4, but let's just put something even further behind, so index number 10. We know that there's no index number 10 because we only go up to 4 items in the list, and therefore the maximum is 3. But we'll try index 10 anyway, and we will put in a name that would go out at the end of that list. So let's do D, Darren, a name beginning with D that goes at the end of the list after Charlie. And let's just again print out names like this, and in fact we'll call it inserted names just so that it's slightly different. Inserted names here and also inserted names over here. And we will run this, and what we see is, even though we've printed an index that doesn't exist, we might have expected it to throw us an error, the insert method, but in fact the insert method hasn't. It's just said, oh, this one must go at the end. So insert at the end, and what does this look like? It actually looks like the append method. So we can do inserting at the end. We also have something in Python which I haven't mentioned in previous methods, but we have negative indexing. Now what does this mean? It means that we can do the same names dot insert, but instead of putting positive numbers. If we want, we can use negative numbers so we can count backwards. So for example, we can do -1, and where will this be put? Well, let's have a look at negative indexing. If I can open up a sheet here. So this sheet, for example, we're used to counting forwards, so we're used to counting in this direction, and that is our normal indexing. And negative indexing, lo and behold, is counting the other way. So this would be negative indexing, counting backwards. Let's just change the formatting of that so that we can see it a bit clearer, and change the colouring of it so we can see it there. I won't do yellow, but I will do like this blue here. So okay, there we go. That's negative indexing. And what is negative indexing? Well, this is index -1, and then -2, and then -3, and so forth. Dot, dot, dot. So that is negative indexing. It goes the other way. So let's just see how negative indexing works. We've got a -1, and we might have been expecting well, if we go by the insert method, it says insert object before index. Now, the last item in the index is the -1th index. So when we do normal indexing, the first item in our list is 0. But when we're doing negative indexing, there's no such concept of -0. So the last element in the list is -1. So if we do -1, something will be slipped in front of, according to our insert method, something will be slipped in front because it inserts object before index. So we need to, I'm just thinking of a name that goes just one in front of Darren, or something that comes after Charlie. HIJKLM, Clive. Clive would come after Charlie, so let's just do that. I was just going through the alphabet in my head. So Clive. And we might do something like, we'll call them all different things. Negative indexing, inserts. So we did negative indexing, insert names, inserted at front, names, and inserted at end, names, or appended names. So we've got these different things, and let's just see. So what we're expecting to see is something coming after Charlie, and in particular before Darren, because it's before the -1th index. That's how the insertion is going to be. So we'll try and run that, and indeed we do get Clive coming just before Darren. So we have regular indexing and we have negative indexing, and that works with the insert method as it would with any other method that takes an index position. And finally, we just need to remember that, or at least when we hover over it, the insert method, we can see over here that it returns none. So if we were to attempt, and this is a common error, names, or we'll call it new names, new underscore names is equal to names. If we tried to do this, dot insert, and then try to do, let's just put in Darren one more time. So we'll put in Darren anywhere in the middle, 1, 2, 3 in the third position, for example, and then try to put in Darren. If we try to print out, print new names, so we just want to here remember that the method, or that the insert method returns none. So let's have a look at what we're going to get back, and we'll actually call this, I guess we'll call it insert no, not insert, sorry, we are going to call it new names. New names, colon, and then \n for the new line. Remember the backslash creates this escape character, so we have a new line, and we should expect to see a none come back because the insert method doesn't return anything, and this new variable is the return value of names, and names is just being adjusted in place. What would actually happen is we'd get a second Darren that would appear somewhere in the list, just in front of index number 3, index number 0, 1, 2, 3. We'd see Darren pop up here. So let's just run this, and indeed we do get none. And if we did open up names, we would actually see Darren be appended somewhere in there, and indeed we do. It's there, index number 3, and over here at index number 6 now. So that brings us to the end. That's the insert method in Python for lists, and that's how it works, and we have covered most of the cases for it.